Hey guys, how you doing today? James here, head of development at Unfinished, and I wanted to show you guys how to create a CMS collection with 3D components using Spline and WEBFLOW. Now this one's a little different, and it's actually, we understand that WEBFLOW currently has that integration with Spline, but we're actually not gonna be using that today. So let's dive right into it. Now we're actually gonna go ahead and start with Spline. So here at Spline, I've already created a 3D component that we can use for this. Really right now I'm into this card game called the One Piece trading card game. So I figured I'd use that for this here. So we'll go ahead and use this. And currently we created this animation, and I could go ahead and show you how this works. Really, in order to create this, you would need 3 components, which is a rectangle, and a cube. And with this, the cube kind of makes it thicker. The reason why we're not using the cube is because the radius of it, if you were to curve the corners, it will kind of make it where it's curved, the box, the whole thing, so it doesn't look correctly. We just need to curve one side of it. And with a rectangle here, and I could show you if you were to use a rectangle, you could see that only one side is showing. So we don't want to do that, and that is why we created the cube method here. Okay, oh, sorry about that. So here we are, and we've created this component where it flips. So if I were to show you and press play here, once you click and hold, it flips and it shows the card. So we're going to try to implement that here and implement that in our CMS collection. Here we go. All right. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we are actually going to need multiple of these. And I'll go ahead and, place this card into the description below. But we're going to have to duplicate this to multiple different cards. So we'll go ahead and multiple different cards, and we're going to change some of the names here. And we're just going to go ahead, instead of just, we'll limit it to 5 different cards. So just stay put. I'm going to go ahead and get that ready for you right now. Now that we have our 3D components ready, we're going to go ahead and build this in WEBFLOW. Now here we are in WEBFLOW, and we'll go ahead and start out with creating a section here. And we're just going to build a quick little section that we can house and make this look good. So we'll get this 100 view height. And just real quick, we're going to make this all absolute, and we'll put a background here of a playmat of this card game. So here we go. And all right, it's not showing here. Did I keep it 100 view height? There you go, 100 view width, 100 view height. Here we go. So there is that play mat, and I'm going to go ahead and make this into a cover. Please bear with me. This is my first time actually building live, so or building on video. So I do apologize for that. And then we'll do an overlay here. Okay. Now you can do an overlay with the image gradient over here. You can do an overlay here, and you could just kind of lessen it, but I don't know, I kind of like the other way. Actually, we could do that. We'll just do it like that, and we'll put an overlay on the section itself, and we'll kind of make it a little darker so we can see some of the elements here. And here we are, we'll go ahead and create a CMS collection. Now in the CMS collection, we'll go do a couple things here. We'll put the name of it, and this one is the most important. We will add a text field here, and we'll put 3D slug, okay? So we'll put the 3D slug, and we'll do a single line, and then we will save this field, okay? So we'll go ahead and create the collection. Collection name are One Piece cards. One Piece cards, okay? So here we go, and then we'll go ahead and start building this by using Spline. What we will need to do first is, kind of the idea is to have 5 cards here, and then when you click one, it'll show the 3D of the card, and then you kind of, you know, press and hold to reveal the card using the animation there. So we'll go ahead and build the 3D cards, or not 3D cards, but the card elements that you will click first. So we'll go ahead and give this a wrapper. We'll call this card wrapper. Card wrapper wrapper. Just kidding. So we'll give it an absolute to the bottom of this, and the reasoning for that is because we kind of want it to show it as if it's like the idea of this is that it's gonna kind of like when you hover over it, it goes up a bit here. So we'll do that there, and then we'll give this a width of 75%. We'll make it flex to the middle. That way we could make it middle here, and we'll give it a height of auto. Okay, and then we will do a div block. Now this div block, we're just creating it first before we connect it to a collection, just so we could style it more easily. Okay, so we'll put the image there, and we'll put the image of the back, or we could do the fronts of the card actually. So we'll do this one here. There we go. There we go. And we'll give this a name card, and we do want it to look cool, so we'll go ahead and there you go, give that some radius there, and we'll make this 100 px, 200 px actually. There you go, just a little bit. No, let's make it 150. There we go. There we go, 150 px, and the goal here is that once we hover over this, it kind of goes up a bit, and then once we click it, it'll reveal the 3D card element there. And then we'll give the card wrapper a maybe minus 25%. Oh, sorry. Too much. We'll do it in pixels, minus 20 pixels. Okay, so we'll do it like that, and then we'll center it by giving it auto on the margin left, auto on the margin right. There we go. So there's our card. And then we'll do a hover. We'll go ahead and interaction here, mouse hover, and then we'll start the animation. So we'll start the animation here, and the goal of this is when this hovers, it moves up. So card movement is what we'll call it. And then we'll do the initial state of move. We'll give it an initial state of 0 on the Y index, and then we'll put move, and then we'll give it a Y of just a little bit. We don't want it too much there. Minus 25. There we go. So just enough to kind of have it move up a bit. Well, actually, we want it subtle. There we go. Now we want it quick too, so we'll give it a 0.2 second duration and give it an ease. So this one, always make sure you keep it at 0 there. So let's test that out, and there we go. So, and then now we want it to hover out. So the easiest way to do this is to press save, go to hover out and start animation. We'll click these 3 red dots and just press duplicate. Once we duplicate, we'll go ahead and click the gear icon there and just change this to, what I like to change it to is reset. And then how you do that is, this is the reset state, just take it out of its initial state, get rid of the second one, and then give that a point. We'll make it shorter so that it goes back down faster. So here we go. So we go whoop, whoop. Oh, didn't hover out. Oh, I forgot to add it there. There we go. Whoop, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So we hover in, hover out. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and add that to the CMS collection here. Now with the CMS collection, forgot to add one thing, which is the card image. So we'll go ahead and add that there. We'll put card image. So these will house the images of the cards as we hover over them. So it's gonna go card image, and then you hover, and then we're good to go there, okay? Now for this section, I don't want it to accidentally go down, so let's actually give it a fixed property. There we go. Okay, so you can't scroll up or down, and then we have that hover going on there. All right, now we'll go ahead and start applying the CMS collection here. So we'll create the collections now. We'll click new one piece card, and then for this one, This is the name of the card itself. And what we'll do is we'll drag and drop the image here. And then with the 3D slug, we'll go back to Spline. And when we go to Spline, we'll click the Zorro here. Now we'll go to the part where it says export. When you click that part where it says export, you're going to see a part where it says viewer. Click that part there and you will see a viewer, okay? We won't use this. Usually when we're using the WebFlow one, we'll use this one. We're actually going to use this one right here, the Spline viewer. Now before we go ahead and copy this, we're going to go to place settings and we'll get rid of a couple of these. Like the background color, we'll give it a hide. Page scroll, we don't want it to scroll around, so we'll give it a no. And then orbit, we don't want to give it be able to zoom, so no on the zoom, no on the soft orbit, and then no on the pan as well. So really we just want to be able to do that animation. So we'll update the viewer here. And once that's finished, we'll go ahead and go here. Now before we could do that, let's go ahead and test how it looks as far as the file itself here. So you could actually, oh, wrong one here. Oopsies. Here we go. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste that. You could actually copy the URL here. Okay. So what I like to do is I just open a notes here. And probably some of you have a better way to do this. But we'll just need this URL here, okay? So we'll use that URL. And for me, I like to view it first before we move on to see if it's exactly what I want. If the background isn't showing, and I am struggling here, but I apologize for that. But yeah, the background isn't showing there, so I'm sorry. Erase those parts. We'll go to public URL and then we'll go to click this. I want to do this first because I want to see if it looks okay. So we'll go to the public URL, and if all the applications I've done was good, and here we are. So it's not, we are able to zoom, but we did eliminate that in the viewer there. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and go to viewer and click this right here. Okay. Now we'll go back to our WebFlow build, and we won't copy and paste. So what I like to do is I like to copy and paste all of it, but all we need is this code right here. And then we'll connect it to our WebFlow and put it on the 3D slug, and we'll press create. Okay. Once we're done with that, here we go. We'll go back to here and we will create an embed. Once create an embed, we'll copy and paste the current embed code. We're just kind of go back and forth here. So we'll copy and paste this embed code. We'll bring it right here, copy and paste, and there we are. We want it over the card itself. And then we'll give the card itself, we'll give this an absolute, actually we'll give it a fixed, okay? And we'll bring it up to the top, and then we'll actually give it like a 75 view height. Yeah. So this will house it. So if you press publish, sometimes with Spline you could actually see it on the viewer here, but I like to just publish it just to see if we're doing it correctly here. And here we are. Now this isn't connected to CMS yet, but that's the card that we're looking for right there. Okay. So how can we connect it to the CMS? Well, this is where it gets interesting. We'll go ahead and create the collection, and we'll connect the collection here to one-piece cards. Okay, and then we'll give our collections list card wrapper, and that's our little grid there, and then we'll move these items into the collection item. Here we go. Now with the embed, we will press the gear icon, and just the part where it says the URL, we will highlight that whole thing and instead add field and click 3D slug. Save and close, okay? And then we will have this card. We will change the image to replace with that image, okay? So what's gonna happen here is it's grabbing the 3D from the collection item there. And then the goal here is that every time this card is clicked, oh, I didn't click it, connected yet. Here we go. Every time the specific card is clicked, that card will be the CMS that it'll show. Only that current 3D will show. And how we will do that is using the animations or the interactions here at WebFlow. So what we'll do here is we'll just show the current 3D element here. So here we go. All right. So we'll go ahead and go to one piece cards. Now we have it where it'll show this 3D element here, okay? What we'll do here is we'll click the card, hover, and we'll give it another animation. We'll go to mouse click and start an animation, okay? The start an animation is we'll choose this HTML embed and we'll give it a name of 3D embed, okay? Sorry. We'll give it a 3D embed. We'll click the hover, and once we click this, we'll create the animation of 3D show. Okay. Now, what we'll do here is once we click this card, we will get this 3D embed, and it will have an initial of hide. So it'll have an initial hide first, okay? And that will be the initial state. And once we want it to be seen, we'll give it an initial of block. But we do want there to be a little bit of a fade, so we'll give it we'll give the fade after the show. That way it shows first and then there's a fade. Now keep in mind, sometimes the animation, it depends on if it's too heavy, it might not be as fast. So I do want to let you know that. Then we'll go ahead and press save. So as you can see, if we were to publish this, it's not showing right away until we click, and here we are, and then we have, oh, there we go. All right, that's it. Now, how can we make it into a collection? Now, we'll also do a click out one, where we'll do 3D show, and we'll do 3D show, parentheses, reset, okay? And then we'll hide, then we'll go ahead and take out the initial, and we'll make the 3D, the opacity before the hide, so that it hides and then it fades out. It fades out first and then it hides, okay? So we'll give it an ease. We'll give it like a 0.3 here. Okay, there we go. So we have click. Oh, I forgot. It has to be on the main thing. Sorry about that. So we click, and there it is. Boom. And if we were to click out, I think this whole wrapper is part of it too, but yeah. Here we go. Now, what about if it's another CMS item? Well, we'll go ahead and add another CMS here. So we'll have kid, and then we'll drag and drop here, the kid, and then we'll go ahead and go to Spline. We'll go ahead and click the kid file, that's the name of the card, and we'll go to export. We'll check the place settings to make sure they're correct, so no BG color, no page scroll, no orbit, no pan, you know, we'll allow the zoom there, okay? Once that is done, we'll go ahead and go to overview and go to viewer. We're gonna have to update that again because we updated the place settings on public URL. We have to update it on viewer as well. So here we go. So we are good. We're good. All right. So we'll do copy, update viewer just in case. Now, by the way, if you were to update viewer and it's already there, it'll actually update it. Currently, it just takes a couple time there, okay? Now, we'll copy and paste it, and we'll open our handy dandy notebook because we only need this code, okay? All right, we'll go back here, And then we'll copy and paste. Here we go. Now we have 2 cards. Fingers crossed. Just kidding. So first the hover works. And if we do this, we have the kid card. And if we click here, we have the Zorro card. Now it isn't hiding, so let me make sure that it is hiding here. All right, now we have that. Now in order to add, one thing I forgot here is that we actually can't just click another card to show it. We would have to have some sort of close component. The reasoning for that is to kind of close just to make sure. So what we'll do here, here we go. So as you notice, if you click another card, it'll still show the other card in the back. Sadly, I wish it was a better way to do this, but if you do know a better way, please put in the comments down below. But in order to do that, what we'll do here is go to build. And once a card is clicked, so the card movement, once a card is clicked, we're going to have to move the whole card wrapper down. So we'll do the whole collection itself down. That way we're going to have a button that hides the whole thing. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and move we'll actually just do the cards itself. Not on hover, but we'll do the card mouse click right there. There we go. So we'll do the card hover. We'll move the card hover down. Okay. Move the card hover down about to 170 px. Oh, sorry, this is the initial state. We'll go 0, and then we'll move the card hover down about 170 px. Okay, 170 px down, not to the right. All right, and then we will give it a ease out. Okay. The reasoning for that is because of the reset here. We're going to need to create a different reset button. So we'll go ahead and create a button. Okay, and then we'll name the button button. And in this button, we'll actually just, this isn't good practice, but we'll give it a fixed class. I'll give it to the bottom here, and we'll bring it up. Okay, we'll just give it like 20 view height. We'll give it auto to keep it centered. Not sure why there's a margin there, and we'll do view other card, and we'll give this we'll make this look better, huh? Let's make it white, and let's give it a little bit of that. Then we'll make the text, we'll make it a little red, right? In the spirit of One Piece. By the way, comment down below if you do watch One Piece. So here we go. And we'll give it a little bit of shadowing. Maybe a little bit of a gradient. There we go. Other way. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's good, okay? And then we'll give it a hover. On the hover state, we want it to scale up. We'll give it a 1.05 hover state. I feel like anything larger than that is a little too big. Now, keep in mind on your scaling here, you need to have the initial state that has a scaling sizing too, or else it won't go. And then on the initial state, you would have the transition and have it to all properties. So when you click, woo, okay? So we're gonna go back to our animation of card hover. We'll interact, mouse click, 3D show. On this one, this button will show. So we'll have a hide state, and it will also show when the button shows. We'll also give it a opacity 0, and then we'll also have it opacity 100 when the 3D card shows. Now we have to give it an all elements with this class, okay? Here we go. Now, of course, if you're doing other things, you can't name all elements in this class with a button. You have to choose and actually change it like 3D button, okay? So here we go. And then in this button, we will give it a click. We'll have an animation and we'll do 3D reset. And in this one, we would like our card hover to move back up to 0px. We'll give it a 0.4. And then we would like our 3D element to hide. So what we'll do first, we'll give it an opacity 0. Okay. And then we'll hide that 3D element as well as our button. We will give it an opacity 0.4. I don't know why I never like 0.5. And then the button, we will give it a hide after the opacity 0. And then we'll publish it. So what that is, and one thing, when we check on our 3D reset, we need to check on card hover to make sure it says all elements with this class as well as 3D embed. Okay? Once that is done, we'll go back to our build system here, or our little experiment. So there's nothing there yet. We'll click this, and there's our 3D element. And once we click view other card, it goes back. And then once we click this, and there we go. So you need that reset there. So, and then there we go. Now I'm not sure why this isn't moving down. We'll go ahead and fix that here. Here we go. Mouse. Move. Okay, so it doesn't, oh, not interaction. It has to be class. There you go. So it has to be the all elements with this class 3D show. Okay. All right. Let's try that again. Click. Oh, it goes away. And then we'll, click. Goes away. Click. Now that hover needs to change, but it does go away. Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of glitch there, but that's okay. There we go. View other card. Click. Now we'll give it a gap just to make it look cooler. Here we are. Card wrapper. We'll style the card wrapper with some gaps here, just so we can be uniform. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and make this into an actual hand of cards by adding the rest of the cards. So we'll do law, and really this is more for my pure entertainment here. We'll go ahead and put law, and we'll do export, viewer, play settings, BG scroll. And by the way, you should have these ready before you copy and paste. Copy and paste the file to change it up. My apologies for not having that ready. And here we go. Then we'll copy and paste. Oh, not that one. Apologize for that. Sorry. We'll copy and paste the embed code there. I'm just all over the place. And we'll copy that. Go back to WebFlow. Go back to WebFlow. And we'll copy and paste the 3D slug. And once you create it, we'll see if that works, because now that we've finished everything, we're going to see if it works. Okay? Let's publish. So there's our card. Let's see if the animation works. Oh. There we go. There you go. And then you click and hover, and there we go. And view other card. You click and hover. There you go. View other card. You click and hover. There you go. Really cool. One thing I do want to point out, do not turn off actually cursor none, because that'll make it in a way where you have no cursor. That's why one of them, when I hovered over it, there was just no cursor. But what's cool about Spline in the embed is you could always just go back to it, and you go back to it and make an edit there, okay? We'll just add one more card just to make sure. Like I said here, go to Viewer, and then hide BG Scroll, hide Page Scroll, hide Orbit, Pan, Soft Orbit. We'll go ahead and update this. Overview, copy, and then we will go ahead and go to notes, and then we just need this code right here, copy, then we'll go back to our WebFlow, our CMS here, and then we'll create a new card. I think this one was called Luffy. Save that. And let me make sure I actually have this card here. Fun fact, I actually had this card, but I accidentally sold it. Okay, here we go. For those of you, if you know this. Okay, here we go. So could not create item. Not sure why it's not creating it. Keep editing. Let me try that again. Sometimes it just glitches. Here we are. Paste, and then we will paste this, and then create, and we're good to go. There's our hand of cards. Publish. And then, once we click, we hover. There we go! View other card. Well, we should call it view other cards. I actually don't like how this button looks. We're gonna improve how this button looks here. I don't like it at all. This is terrible design. We'll go ahead and make this white with a border that's white. 4. We'll do this 2. There you go. And then the hover state should just be all white. Oh, no, that's section. This button here. You get a hover state of all white with black text. Okay, so here we are. And that is how you build a CMS 3D collection using WebFlow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please comment down below if you'd like for me to put more fun builds for me. We're trying something new, and we want to try something where we show you how to build certain things that we thought was pretty fun with some of the projects we did. And so sometimes we're over here, we kind of try to be like a mad scientist and try to see is that even possible with WebFlow? And it's amazing what you can do with WebFlow and some of the avenues you're able to use and some of the things you could do just by experimenting with it. So this was a fun build, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you so much.